Put your phone face down right now. Go on, actually do it. Feel that little pull to check it just one more time. That's the exact thing we're fixing today. You don't need more motivation. You need a body level move your brain can't argue with, and that's what I'm handing you in the next few minutes. I'm Wil Dieck, and I spent years as a college professor and even longer as a martial artist. And both of these have taught me the same thing. You don't talk your way into action, you train your way into it. Here's what that actually looks like. Steve opens his laptop to write the report. His cursor blinks, his shoulders climb up toward his ears, and he's already on Twitter before he knows he's even made a choice. That's not a discipline problem. It's a 5-second window his body closed before his brain could vote. Here's the loop. The task shows up. His arousal spikes a little bit. Some old wiring flags it as a threat, and his body freezes or looks for an exit. He reaches for his phone or coffee or just to do one more email because that gives his nervous system a hit of relief. Relief feels like progress, but you and I know it isn't. By the end of this, you'll feel the difference between thinking about starting and actually moving. I'm giving you a 10-second drill called breath, anchor, rehearse, plus one counterintuitive rule that makes it work when just start backfires on almost everybody else. So let's stop talking about mindset and get into what your body is actually doing in that window before you move. Starting isn't a thought. You don't think your way into motion. Your body moves first and the thought catches up afterwards. So when we talk about starting, we're really talking about a physical event, where your feet are, what your spine is doing, whether your breath is shallow or full, where your eyes land, and whether your hands actually make contact with the keyboard, the pen, the dish. If none of that has happened yet, you haven't started, no matter how many times you've told yourself, okay, I'm starting now. Avoidance is your body running a protection program. Arousal ticks up. Your brain runs a quick cost prediction on the task in front of you. And if that prediction cost feels too high, your body chooses escape before you even aware a decision got made. This is old hardware. It doesn't know the difference between a deadline and a threat. It just knows arousal is rising and it wants that number to tick down quick, fast. Here's the part that almost nobody catches. Procrastination isn't really about the task being hard. It's about timing. You lose the fight in the first 5 seconds, and only after that does your brain start to build the story to explain what you've done. I work better under pressure. I need to research it more first. I'm just not in the mood today. The story is a patch job. The real event already happened before the story showed up. So the real target isn't discipline, and it isn't motivation. It's the gap between the moment you intend to start and the moment your body actually moves. Right now, that gap might be minutes or an entire afternoon. Our job is to shrink it to under 5 seconds, which brings up the obvious question. What do you actually do with your body in those 5 seconds so it doesn't hijack you? That's the drill, and it runs on 3 moves: breath, anchor, rehearse. But there's one rule that makes the whole thing work, and it's gonna feel wrong the first time you try it. I'll show you when we get to the rehearse. Here's the rule before we get into the moves. And this rule matters more than any of the mechanics. You don't negotiate with the task, not, should I start with the hard part or the easy part? Not, let me think about the best approach first. None of that. You run the sequence and the outcome of the actual work doesn't matter at all yet. Your only job for the next 10 seconds is breath, anchor, rehearse. That's it. The task can wait 10 seconds. It's not going anywhere. First move is breath, 2 breaths. And the exhale matters a lot more than the inhale. So make it long, make it heavier than normal, like you're fogging up a window or a mirror. What this does is drop the carbon dioxide spike your body reads as panic and gives your vagus nerve a nudge that says the threat isn't real. You can stand down a notch. You're not trying to feel calm. You're just trying to lower arousal just enough that your body agrees to move. Second move is anchor. Pick one touch you can repeat every single time. Something small and physical. Thumb pressed to your finger pad. Palm pressed flat on the desk for a second. Or gripping a pen a little tighter than normal. It doesn't matter which one. What matters is that you use that same one every time your body starts linking that touch to, we're back online. After a week of reps, that touch alone will start doing part of the work for you, and actually a good part of the work for you. Third move is rehearse, and this is where people usually get it wrong. So pay attention here. You do 2 reps, 5 seconds each, and you're only rehearsing the first motion, not the task, not even the first minute of the task, just the movement that gets your body into contact with the work. So here's what that looks like, depending on what you're avoiding. If you're writing, hands go on the keyboard. You open the file and you type the worst possible sentence you possibly could on purpose, something you know you're going to have to delete. If it's an email, you open the reply box, type 1 line, and you stop there. If you're studying, you open your notebook, write the heading, underline it. That's the rep. You're done. If it's cleaning, you pick up 1 item and you put it where it belongs. Nothing else. Now, here's the mistake that wrecks this drill for almost everyone. And it's the one I told you we'd fix. They rehearse the whole mountain instead of the first step. They sit down to just start and their brain immediately runs the full task, the whole report, the entire inbox, the full workout. And arousal spikes right back to where it was before. Sometimes worse, because now the body's already burned its one good exhale and it's starting at it's just staring at that size of the thing again. That's why Just Start backfires for so many people. They never separated the motion from the mountain. So here's the constraint that makes this actually work. You stop at 5 seconds even if you want to keep going. Even if you're in it and it feels fine and you want to push through. You stop anyway. I know that feels backwards, but the whole point of the rep is teaching your body that starting is safe, and it can only learn that if starting ends before arousal has any chance to climb again. You see, you're not building momentum, you're building trust. And if you run the rep and you still freeze, even at that tiny scale, don't force it. Shrink that motion again. Instead of typing a sentence, just open the file and put your hands on the keyboard. Instead of writing the heading, just open the notebook to the right page. Now, I know it can feel almost silly, too small to count as anything. That's okay, that's fine. Fail-proof is the goal, not impressive. Once that smaller motion goes through clean, you build back up from that point. Once this drill is running smooth as a standalone rep, the next question is how you actually use it in the middle of a real day without turning it into one more thing you have to manage. And here's where most people drop the drill. They run it once, it works, and then they forget about it until the next day. The trick isn't doing it, it's knowing when to do it. Run the drill right before anything you'd normally avoid. The report you've pushed back 3 times. Right after you catch yourself pulling your phone and you're checking your phone. Right after a meeting where your head's still arguing with somebody who isn't even in the room anymore. Or right before you open your inbox. Those are your trigger points. You don't need to hunt for moments to practice. Your day is already providing them for you, just handing them to you. Stack it with your environment so your body doesn't have to think. Same chair, same spot on the desk, same anchor, touch, same first motion every single time. Your body learns location and sequence together. So the more consistent the setup, the faster the whole thing fires without any effort. Here's how you build that groove past the drill itself. Run, breath, anchor, rehearse, then do exactly 2 minutes of real work. Set a timer if you have to. Then stop on purpose, even if you're on a roll. That controlled stop is what trains the muscle, not the 2 minutes of output. Some days you'll fall off completely, and don't worry about it. That's fine. Don't try to catch up on lost time. Just run 1 clean rep right then and let that be the whole rebuild. You're training the restart, not the streak. So the checklist is short. Breath, anchor, rehearse, then action inside 5 seconds. That's the whole install, and it gets faster every time you run it. You've got a body level start your brain can't argue with now. No motivation speech is required. This start drill works best after you've trained your system to come back online on command. Head to the 10-minute routine next. That's where your install base layer is. Run this drill after that and you'll feel the difference immediately. Until the next time, this is Wil Dieck wishing you only success. And remember, you can train your brain to feel your life again.